Hello, welcome to today's podcast. Today's podcast focuses on time management. It aims to help you manage your time, especially with regards to planning your exam preparation and summative assessments. You may have exam and summative assessments coming up soon. Therefore, it is very important to plan and prepare for those. Before I begin, I would like to say my name is Mayisha and I am an LSE Life Study Advisor. I will be conducting today's podcast. If you have any questions, please email LSE Life. The email address is provided on this slide. Before we begin, I would like you to download two worksheets from the LSE Life Moodle page. Worksheet number 1 is called Set Goals, Tasks and Deadlines. Worksheet number 2 is called Weekly Hour by Hour Schedule. Please download both of these worksheets now, as in this podcast we will be working through both of these worksheets. Now, before we begin, I would like to take a quick moment for us to acknowledge that our lives have changed very drastically and that time management can be quite challenging and tough when working from home. So right now, it is okay to feel unproductive. It is okay to feel confused and not know how to tackle the next few weeks or the next few months. Therefore, this podcast aims to help you plan and prioritize your tasks to optimize your study time whilst working from home. In this podcast, you will firstly recognize and set yourself some goals. Secondly, plan tasks that will help you achieve your goals. And thirdly, you will be able to visualize and break down your tasks into small components by creating a weekly hour-by-hour schedule. Now, I would like you to have the first worksheet in front of you. This should be the Set Goals, Tasks and Deadlines worksheet. If you haven't yet downloaded the worksheet, please download it from the Moodle page now. We will first be focusing on the Goals section of the worksheet. Setting goals. Setting goals for ourselves is very important as it gives us a sense of purpose and an indication of the things we would like to achieve. Now, I would like you to think about 6 personal goals that you would like to set yourself. But I want you to set yourself goals that are academic related, such as your exams and summatives, as well as goals that are personal related. Goals that relate to your personal development, such as jogging or healthy eating. It is completely up to you what goals you would like to set yourself and achieve. But I want you to remember that the goals must be specific, emotional, which means the goal must matter to you, appreciable, and definable. I will elaborate on these 4 terms on the next slide. Okay, so what I mean by being specific is that the goals that you set yourself must not be vague or overly general. For example, studying more as a goal is very general, as it does not indicate specifically what you will be studying. Thus, studying more cannot be a goal. Moving on to emotional. What I mean by emotional is that the goal must matter to you. If you don't have an emotional connection with the goal, you are less likely to have the energy, the drive, and the motivation to achieve the goal. Thus, the goal must matter to you. Thirdly, appreciable. The goal must be manageable. you should be able to break down the goal into small components, making the goal easier for you to achieve. And lastly, refinable. This means you should reflect on your goals and refine them or modify them as terms go by. Now, as you can see from my personal worksheet, I have specifically stated the goals I would like to achieve. The first two are academic related goals, where I focus on my exam and my summative assessment. As you can see, I am being specific as I clearly state in the goal section which modules I'll be focusing on. The third goal is a personal related goal, which indicates that I would like to focus on my health and my well-being. So now I would like you to pause this podcast and work on the goal section of your worksheet. The task is to set yourself 6 goals that you would like to accomplish from now until the end of this academic year. I hope you were able to set yourself 6 goals. Now we will be focusing on setting deadlines. Setting deadlines wherever possible, as not all goals have deadlines, as some goals, you will notice, are ongoing. What I will advise you to do is consider setting 2 deadlines for a goal. The first deadline is your own deadline, the personal deadline, which is earlier than the official deadline. So if things don't go according to plan, at least you have the extra time to fix it, and it also avoids cramming everything in last minute if things take longer than you expect. As you can see from my personal worksheet, I have set myself personal deadlines which are earlier than the official deadlines. For example, the official deadline for completing my summative essay assignment is for the 9th of May, whereas I would like to personally complete the summative essay assignment by the 7th of May. Now, I am aware that a lot of us have exams or coursework that are longer than 24 hours, and the window for submission may be open for 1 week or longer. In this case, I would advise you to pick a personal deadline that you would like to complete the exam or coursework by, and then write the actual or official deadline underneath it. For example, if my exam window was open from the 4th of May until the 9th of May, then I would hope to complete the exam by 7th of May, giving myself 2 extra days for anything that might go wrong. And as you can see, I have also set myself an ongoing deadline for one of my goals. And that's because I want to make this goal, which is exercising, part of my lifestyle. Now I would like you to pause this podcast and set yourself deadlines wherever possible. We are now moving on to setting tasks, which is the middle section of the worksheet. This is the most important part of this podcast, as this section will help you in achieving your goals. I cannot stress how important it is to set yourself the right tasks, as setting yourself the right tasks will make it easier for you to achieve your goals. As I say, not setting specific tasks is like shooting randomly and calling whatever you hit basically the target. The most important part of setting tasks is being specific. For example, don't just state studying, rather state specifically what you will be studying for a specific course. The more specific you are, the more likely you will be able to achieve the task. So firstly, be specific. Secondly, be selective. For example, what week's readings and lecture slides will you be going through? Remember, reading all the materials from Michaelmas term week 1 to Lent term week 11 is not the point here, as this approach is most likely to drain and exhaust your energy levels. And thirdly, break down the big tasks into small, manageable steps. For example, revising for exams can be broken down to answering exam past papers, going through selective readings, and looking back at past formative work. As you can see from my personal worksheet, I have also set myself tasks to reach my goals. So for my first goal, which is preparing for an online exam, I have set myself the following tasks. Firstly, I would like to answer an essay question from a past paper. Secondly, I would like to create concise summaries on lecture slides of Lent term week 4 and week 5. And thirdly, I would like to create index cards on essential readings of Michaelmas term week 8. The 3 tasks that I have set myself are specific and selective, as I am being clear on the activities that I would like to focus on and the weeks that I would be looking at to prepare for the online exam. I have also set myself tasks for my second goal and my third goal. Please refer to the slide for examples. So now I would like you to pause this podcast and work on the task section of the worksheet. I would like you to set yourself 3 to 4 tasks for each goal that you would like to achieve for this week. Remember, you may use some of the tasks that I have set myself to prepare for my online exam and summative assessment. I hope you were able to set yourself some tasks. We are now moving on to our second worksheet, which is the weekly hour-by-hour schedule. So I would like you to have this worksheet in front of you. If you haven't yet downloaded the worksheet, please download it from the Moodle page. Before we start working through this worksheet, I would like you to think about the following. Firstly, I would like you to think about your own patterns and rhythms. What I mean by this is that when do you work the most effective? Is it the morning, afternoon, or evening? And then I would like you to schedule your tasks in the times that you work the most effective. Secondly, I would like you to think about what studying techniques work the best for you. For example, is it the Pomodoro technique, where you focus intensely on an activity for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, and then again focus intensely for another 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break? Thirdly, I would like you to think about what type of learner are you. Are you someone that studies for one module throughout the day? Or are you someone that studies for 2 or more different modules in a day? So in your weekly hour-by-hour schedule, I would like you to first write down all your immovable deadlines. For example, my bedtime is 11 p.m. and my wake-up time is 10 a.m. So on my schedule, I know that I cannot schedule anything after 11 p.m. or before 10 a.m. Likewise, my Zumba class is scheduled for every week between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. So I will put that in my schedule so I know I can't schedule anything else in that time as I am busy. After writing down your immovable deadlines, I would like you to transfer the tasks you have set yourself in worksheet 1 to the weekly hour-by-hour schedule. But remember to be realistic and schedule breaks, leisure time, eating time, sleep, and other daily activities. And remember not to cram everything in. And every day of yours, you should add contingency time for the accidents you didn't foresee coming. For example, if you made yourself a cup of tea and the tea spilt, then you will need to make sure you have time to clean it up. So do leave room for the unexpected. As you can see from my worksheet, all my immovable deadlines are in the colour purple. These are the things that I cannot change. My tasks that I have set myself are in the colour green. And as you can see from the sheet, on a Monday I have scheduled 2 hours of revision. And then at a later time, on a Monday, I have scheduled myself for another 2 hours of revision. I decided that I will use the Pomodoro technique to study. But my breaks are not scheduled in the worksheet. I have also left blank spaces for the unexpected. Do not create a schedule which you view as your ideal schedule. Rather, create a realistic schedule for yourself. For example, if you have been waking up around 1 p.m., then do not schedule yourself to wake up for 6 a.m. because it is very unlikely that you will change your pattern overnight. And if you miss the time you have set yourself to wake up, then you are less likely to follow the schedule for that day. I would like you to now pause this podcast and attempt to fill in your weekly hour-by-hour schedule. Remember, this schedule is only for this week. So for every week, you should be creating a new hour-by-hour schedule, which should help you with completing your tasks and achieving your goals. I hope you were able to successfully create a weekly hour-by-hour schedule. Now, moving on to time awareness and tracking. What I would like you to do is review and make adjustments where necessary to your weekly hour-by-hour schedule. At the end of each day, I want you to reflect and see how much you were able to get done and achieve. If you were able to accomplish 80% or more of the day, well done to you and keep going. However, if you were unable to stick to your schedule, do ask yourself why and make adjustments where necessary. Majority of the time, we are unable to follow our schedule due to some of the following reasons. Firstly, we tend to cram a lot of tasks in for one day. Secondly, we tend to schedule a lot of working hours. Thirdly, we tend to forget to factor in breaks, leisure time, eating time, and other daily activities. Any of the above 3 reasons can leave us feeling overwhelmed or demotivated, which can then lead to a lack of productivity, such as not following our schedule. Recap. Now I want you to look at what you have planned and ask yourself these questions. Are you working steadily towards your study goals? Have you made sure you have enough time for essential tasks? Have you added contingency time for the unexpected? And do you have enough time for family, friends, exercise, and hobbies? Not following the schedule. It is okay to encounter a day where we haven't followed the schedule. We do have days where we feel like doing nothing, and that is totally fine. Just remember, though, to be flexible. For example, if I miss Tuesday's worth of tasks, I can leave it and come back to it in the following Tuesday. Or I can play catch up by spreading out Tuesday's tasks to the contingency time of the other days. Although this means I lose some of my contingency time from the other days, at least I am able to catch up on the tasks that I have missed on Tuesday. This way, you can get your schedule back under control if things go wrong. And it is also important to remember to reflect on your schedule at the end of the day or end of the week and make adjustments where necessary. For example, jogging at 9 a.m. was not working for me, so I changed it to a later time of the day. Before I close this podcast, I just want to say that if we don't do it for ourselves, no one will be doing it for us. It is important and vital for us to keep going and accomplishing our goals. Just remember the benefits and the reward you will achieve at the end of this. So let's keep going and let's prepare for our exams and our summative assignments. And lastly, LSE Life study advisors are available during this time. So if you would like to speak about your work or time management, please do book an appointment via Student Hub. We study advisors look forward to meeting you. I hope you have found this podcast useful. And if you do have any questions, please do email LSE Life. LSE Life email address is provided on this slide. Thank you.